I believe you are able. I believe you are good. I believe you are with me even now.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Now you see, our needs can be expressed when God is in his proper place in our hearts. God is your only source. God is your only source, and everything else is a resource. And he can shift resources whenever he wants because he is the sole source of your soul. Your bank, your money, your job is not your source. You only have one source, and God is your source. Everything else you know as points of supply are channels, mechanisms, resource through which God uses to meet your needs. And this is the perspective that keeps your heart on God, because then you realize that he can flip and change things as he wills. Like Elijah, he can move your resource from the widow of Zarephath to the brook. Don't give the devotion meant for your source to your resource. That is called idolatry. Anything, irrespective of how harmless or legitimate they may be in nature, anything that you look to independently of God for the meeting and addressing of your needs is an idol. Good and great people and things out of their rightful place are idols. If God is your only source, no resource can control you. No resource can own you. No resource can threaten you. No resource can ruin you because you haven't made your resource your source. David said in Psalm 104, in verse 10, he says, he sends forth springs in the valleys and they flow between the mountains. They give drink to every animal of the field. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. The birds of the sky dwell beside them. They lift up their voices from among the branches. He waters the mountains from his upper chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of his works. He causes the grass to grow for the cattle and vegetation for the labor of mankind, so that they may produce food from the earth. In verse 27, David says, they all wait for you to give them their food in due season. You give to them, they gather it up. You open your hand and they are satisfied with good. You hide your face and they are terrified. You take away their breath and they perish and return to their dust. David is simply saying that if it were not for God, you wouldn't even be able to go to the grocery shop, because everything that you can afford to buy and eat or wear came from something that God provided in its raw form in the first place. You can enjoy your cereal with milk because God provided the grass that the cows feed on that allows that system God put in them to produce the milk that you now enjoy with your cereal. So if you take away God, you take away seed, you take away land, you take away rain, you take away sunshine. Your commitment to the kingdom, that is the rule of God over your life, will attract God's provision. Because your time on earth is sponsored and powered by heaven. God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory. And God tells his people, don't worry about what you're going to eat or what you're going to drink or what you're going to wear. Don't make an obsession, he says, because all these things are the same things the Gentiles, the non-Christians, are nervous about and they panic over. Jesus says your Father in heaven already knows what you need, and he says that seek ye first the kingdom of God and his standard, his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. In other words, Jesus is saying that your Father in heaven has your back. I know what you need. He knows what you need, and if you focus on his kingdom, then you will see him focus on your provision. You will see the kind of provider that God can be when your heart and your eyes are focused on his kingdom. It is the Lord who gives you the power to make wealth. Forget about the skill you have. Without God, you won't even wake up to start the day in the first place. God says, I give you the power to make what you make, to provide what you have, because nothing gets to you that doesn't come through God's hand first. And God has a motive for provision. Give us this day our daily bread comes right after thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In other words, I'm going to make provision for you so you can fulfill the assignment that I've given to you. So God is saying, I take care of you on purpose. You must remember that. Have a blessed day, friends.
Listening, I can do this on